Well, I really warmly welcome you to the PhD lounge at the university. We're quite happy to have you here. It's not we're sitting not normally here because we got a office at the university, but it's a bit smaller, so we usually don't welcome 12 people or more. So let me say also thank you to the doctoral students who let us quite to be here. Okay, first of all, I will introduce you a bit to our field, what we're doing, and after that you can ask questions or have an open space to discuss with us. First of all, this is our team, like Jonas, Geraldine, me, Toni, Lisa, Michael, Dominik, and also Becky. You can find parts of the team quite around you, so if you have questions to special fields like COO or something like linguistics, you can ask one of these guys for special questions. We're the Bookbakers. We're baking books, and we got especially two products. One of the product is the Book Bakery. It's a crowd-funded crowd publishing service platform, and Script Bakery. It's a linguistic model transformed into a computer program or software, something like that. I will come back later. First of all, in which field we are working. It's the media and creative actor field, and especially we are into books, as you can think about when you hear Bookbakers. And yeah, it's one of the major fields in the media and creative sector in Germany. You got 9.13 billion euro in turnover around that field, and it differs into different fields like science, like literature, and like educational books. And that's only focused on the German-speaking countries. Okay, first of all, the classic process of creating a book is like you've got a writer, and writer writes a book and wants to publish it, so he go to a publishing house or a publisher. The publishing house gives you some services like lecturate, like correctoration, and like making these books in a physical way. And then he give it to the bookseller, and the bookseller sell the books to the reader. So you see it's a very long chain, and there's not really a connection between the writer and the reader. And you also got quite a lot of more pains in that field, here. There's a very huge load of books in the market for the publisher. About 1 of 100 books is only read by a publisher, and 99% were really sent back unread. Also, 1 of 1,000 manuscripts really get published. It's really amazing. And yeah, you have on the other side problem that the publishers really have lots of manuscripts which they really can't handle. About 500 in the pipeline on great publishing houses. And there's also another problem for the publisher. The most people doesn't really know the company behind it. As you all know, maybe Harry Potter, heard somewhere. Okay, but but do you also know who published Harry Potter in maybe UK or maybe in your home country first time? You see, in UK was Bloomsbury, in Germany was Carlsen Verlag, and yeah, it's really really interesting because you know the product, but you don't know the sender, the publisher, or something like that behind. It's also a lot of other pains, but I'll skip it. For now. So we had the idea to get the consumer, the reader, involved in the book process. So you also get books for the prosumer, for the consumer, and it's called in a new language term, you can say prosument or prosumer. Somebody between the producer and the consumer, so likewise reader who are involved in the process of create books. Yeah, we just had a pilotizing project. It's the Gladde Buchverlag. It's a publishing house which was come up from an idea of a seminar in 2013, and Jonas was one of the first members in this project, and it was like, okay, how can we create publishing which isn't quite as usual? And the idea was to get the publishing by crowdfunding idea, and they set up a community and a platform for that. And since 2013, they realized about 30 books, which weren't really had no chance if they were on the free book market, I guess. So the basic idea or the foundation of this thing was to get publishing which is eco-friendly in the production, which really encourage or strengthen the regional production, and also get really fair contracts with their writers. So if you ever had published a dissertation, maybe you know which interesting contract constructions you get. Yeah, and it was also to boost cultural boost culture, because you also have to empower also these small or newcomer authors which maybe become later really great authors. Yeah, so there's something missing in the Furious. So maybe I will tell you what we are thinking, how the book production process really could work. The idea is if you got, maybe we call her Anna. Anna is an author for the first time. She wrote a really nice book about maybe a detective story, something like that. And she has published, wants to publish the book because the manuscript is already ready. So she handed in a publishing house which is using one of our products. It's the Script Bakery. The Script Bakery is our software tool which evaluates the manuscript or the text for maybe readability or how good it fits to the publishing house program, or on linguistic specials, like is it possible to read it for is it possible for people who are on a A1 or B2 level to read the book? So it is handed in, and you also get a lecturer behind this program who's using this program. We call this lecturer maybe Lisa. Lisa is our lecturer, and she's very happy because she got a really nice fitting manuscript, which is really good, and which maybe also has no very great effort on correction. So there's also other problem. You got Anna as a first-time author, and she doesn't really know. Also, Lisa doesn't know if Anna will really be successful. So the first book, maybe she wants to test it first, so she can give it to our second product, a platform, by crowdfunding. She can co-crowdfund the book, or she can also give interesting features to for voting, like, okay, which cover do you want to have for this book? Do you want to have cover 1? Do you want to have cover 2? And at the end, we got Till. Till is our reader, and he took part in this crowdfunding process, and he was like, oh, I will vote for cover 1, and finally he gets the book he really wants, and he spent it, and he's really happy because he got the book. So let me come back to the two products, the Script Bakery and the Bookbakers. The Script Bakery is an, you can say, artificial intelligence-based scoring program, which makes it possible to evaluate texts in really short way, and you get the possibility to get an impression as a lecture, to know, okay, is it fitting to the publishing house, or is it really a good manuscript? How much effort I have to put in to get a good book out. And you also got Bookbakers. It was a community platform, which is where it is possible to make mark tests and aim on, this product aims on a digital market or the digital transformation in the 21st century. So we hope to, make the publishing branche sector really fit for the next steps. So we got quite a lot of support until now. We also won some prizes. We're really proud about it. This selection of what we get. We're also in a funding line at the moment to get some support on creating these things we just thought up. It's also important on the impact side to create, to use networks like, for example, the book fee in Frankfurt, or book fair in Frankfurt, or the book fair in Leipzig, which are really great events for the book sector. As well as we got some partnerships with booksellers like Thalia, or like publishing houses like Herder. Also got some customers like care.com and Tolino as well. But as you can see, one of the problems we are facing at the moment, this is really focused on the German market. And we are planning to internationalize this project because, you also have the first market move on the international level, which is really something you have to think about every time. So we are creating the products in such a way to scale it on an international level anytime, but it's not really as simple as you may say, because if you're producing screws, you got these objects, you can export them to another country, and there you can say, here you got screws, you can screw them into wood or something like that, and that's it. But when you export books, you're also exporting part of culture, part of cultural background, and you also got cultural differences in scaling such things like communities, like how is this whole progress book is working in other countries. So that's one of the points we are thinking about, and which we are facing, and one of the things is, or results of this process is that we're really careful on looking forward to internationalization, because we got really scalable products, but it isn't really done with translator products. So I guess that's really, in short words, a really big project. So maybe thank you for your conversation, and so the space is open for questions to me as well as to our team. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. internationalization strategy, the biggest barrier seems to be the program presumably is written to evaluate German text. So how big a challenge is it to change that so that it evaluates English text?
That's not quite a challenge because interesting, some core components on this software are also available for other languages like English, French, and also old Latin texts. So maybe if you want to export to the Roman Empire, it would be great. Yeah, that's not a problem. But the problem is some of these indices or indexes, like readability, are really focused on German language, and there are maybe a lot of them for English language. But yeah, when you want to scale it on languages which aren't the main languages, which are really hard in science, like maybe Spanish, would be a bit more complicated, and you have to put some science behind it to get it really workable. The other project, the Bookbakers, are really that thing wants to get the chain a bit shorter to connect the author and the reader.
On the book fair, we also noticed that self-publishers are actually also interested in this process and in Bookbakers itself. So we're just working on a concept to import self-publishers into this whole Bookbakers thing. But right now, we're just going over the publishing houses.
So the writers, they give their manuscripts to the publishers as they always have. And then Bookbakers is they will take the manuscripts that are not being published by the publishing house and try and get them crowdfunded.
Yeah, for example, so the process is you get a manuscript and you say, oh, all right, I'm not sure if I have the crowd to fund this or if I can place this on the market. So maybe I try this with Bookbakers first, if I find the readers for this. Or you have a project is very innovational or a cool young project you can place into the internet, and this is going to go well because the community is big. So then you can try this the other way around. Like you have the crowd, but you just need to find them.
So for authors that don't already have the crowd, how do you go about generating that interest in a new manuscript?
Bookbakers is a corporational project. So we're asking the authors themselves, do you have a crowd? Maybe can be just families or friends. So bring your people to us. We have our crowd, we have our newsletters, we have our social media, and Instagram, whatever. And we put it in there and we announce, here is the new project. Maybe come try, look at this. Maybe you want to help us realize this. And then we're asking the publishing house on the other side, who's also giving us the community from its side. Us ourselves, we're Kladde as a publishing house. So from publishing house to publishing house, this is different, of course. But we also think about how big do we want to go with this? Do we want to... Well, now I hope I find the vocabulary. You can print the books on demand, so it's cheaper. You can go big and say we print 1,000 books at once, then it's a little bit more expensive. Some authors also get like special limited editions, hardcovers. We once printed a novel on toilet paper, which was really hilarious. So it depends on the project and what the author wants.
It can be a non-paper version as well.
Yeah, possible, of course, yeah.
And how does it compare with them? So where you've got something like Amazon doing its self-publishing arm, how does Bookbakers fit into that wider market?
We're more the book guys. We know our market. We have the the resources to go directly on the market. We have Kladde, which is a publishing house. So we can always say, okay, come on, let's do this with Kladde together. And it's not this anonymous. It's more being part of a family and getting to know your readers, the connections between the writer, the publishing house, and the readers is much closer. Amazon doesn't care if a book is running or not. Mm-hmm. They just throw it onto the market and maybe it works or maybe not. Also, what you pay to Amazon is hilariously expensive. It's really, go check the sums. I think it's 70% what you don't get as an author, even though you paid for the book, lectured, for the correction, for
everything.
For everything, basically, yes. The cover, whatever. Mm-hmm. And we're more closer to the publisher, to the reader. Mm-hmm. And we're more flexible. We know, okay, you got this book, it's about philosophy. Amazon, again, maybe puts it in the right genre. But we go to philosophers, to the universities, we say, hey, we got this book project, are you interested? To schools, maybe, whoever we can get together. Yes.
So your question was if the English market is our next step. Yes, it is. Because it's with UK, it's close to Europe. Yeah. And
close, but just that little bit.
Yeah. At the moment, yes. And our products are now, we are prepared for the English market, so it's easy to scale our products.
Yeah. So are you already looking at maybe, I guess, universities in
exactly,
the UK and publishers in the UK?
Exactly, yeah. We are try to get in networks and to partnerships with the English market players, yeah.
What are the challenges and barriers that you're facing with trying to grow into the market?
One challenge is I don't know the word in English, Wettbewerb? Competition, yeah. Because, thanks. There are some players acting like us, not the same way. Of course, Amazon is big, and it's a great challenge. But we have the USP, we have special things, and Amazon does not have. So yeah. Since 2013, it just was a university project, so we could not live from the project. But now, the last year we have a turnover from, I think, 100,000 euro. So it was good, because we have customers in the publishing area and sector. And that's well paid, I think, because in Germany, especially in Germany, the publishing houses are not thinking digital. They're a bit old, it's so traditional. And we are young, we have new ideas, and they want this. So this is good. And we have investors now, and but it's the negotiation at the moment, but there's some opportunities maybe. And yeah, of course, we try to get support by the country or something. First, we wanted to test the market, and we took everything, and to check out what kind of literature, what kind of books are the best. For our passion, it's literature, like fiction or non-fiction things. But now the science sector has some special interest. They want us to do something for them. The pain is hard too, and so they are looking for new solutions. And like the script bakery, it's something science publishers can use to
well. You, for example, you got an opportunity to analyze quotation force. That's a really interesting thought, because these errors really are on every level, like professors or something like that. I worked in a project on plagiarism and quotation errors as well some years ago, and there's also a big pain to analyze that and to get really an impression which problems are on a text on a format level, something like that.
Yeah, as Tony told you, we try to make publishing houses more responsible to them. They can use us to calculate better, to lower the risk, and to product eco-friendly, for example, to pay higher royalties, exactly, to the authors, and to support new things in literature. So we have the culture boost, for example, and we try to support the regional markets, the booksellers, because Amazon is so big and they can't take it with them. So we try to push them because they are important for the culture. For example, I think that's the kind of social business or something. Yeah. We try to in the first steps we want to grow. So everything is to grow, and after that we want to fund new projects with a social or sustainability things. So that's important for us, not just become rich. So we want to give something to society or something. Yeah.
So what is the Gesellschaftsform? No, the legal structure.
The legal structure. At the moment, it's, I don't know in English, GbR in Germany. It's just us.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
A personal.
Limited company.
No, it's not.
No, it's not limited. No.
It's unlimited.
Okay.
Even unlimited.
Yeah.
All that take part can be charged with their complete money. So.
At the beginning, we wanted to be. I don't know in English. GmbH or GOG. It's the gemeinnützig.
A charitable.
Yeah.
Money. So
but it's.
Yes, as I told you, all forms of this, all legal forms we have in Germany can be charitable. So even you can have a company on stocks as a charitable one. So
Yeah. For this year, it's not so big. We just want to have 11 publishing houses to grow and to get our bills paid. I think. But after that, we want to grow, and there are 3,000 publishers in the Germany, Swiss, and Austria, and we want to get them all. And after that,
would be nice.
yeah, and after that, the UK market and the English-spoken countries. So, for example, we have this care project with care.com.
Yeah, but it's a really expensive print.
Yeah. So we have 1,000 books and soft cover, but it's a special printing, and there's 8,000 euro for just the production. And we have our fantasy, Roman fiction.
Yes. It's 500 copies for 1,400 euro, I guess.
No, it's more, 2,000 or something. Yeah. And then we have this is the printing, and we have to pay the visuals, the designer. Yeah.
You print it locally or you go internationally? Because a lot of publishers in Greece go to Italy, for example, for printing.
Yeah, we try. That's the eco-friendly thing. We want to print in the region because it's not eco-friendly to. It's cheaper to make it in China or Poland or something, but it's important for us to be eco-friendly as much as possible.
Right down the road.
Yeah.
You can always go there and test the paper and look at the new covers.
Yeah.
Really awesome.
What percentage of your market is online book compared to paper book?
We have more paper books.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because in our business, the supporter wants to get something they can touch. Yeah. So.
The older generation.
No, they're so young. But for example, we have a reward. When you pay for the or you support a book, then your name is inside the book. It's something special for you, or you get a signature by the author, and so that's more important than the ebook or something.
Interesting. So the ebook, is not easy to get into the market compared to the paper. The paper one is resisting,
Yeah,
to
exactly.
somehow.
I think, in my opinion, the market is a hybrid thing. So the ebook is not the future alone. So we have the print book as well, forever. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. But still, in Lithuania, for example, a lot of people up here prefer to read paper books as well because it's more convenient. Maybe it's forming habits and so on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it smells nice.
Yeah, that's something special for a lot of people.
You can buy a sticker like one of these car trees, and you
When the books smell.
book smell and and fluids to your ebook reader.
This is diversification.
Maybe yeah, maybe this can be a new market.
Yeah.
Car.
Experiential. With every online book
You get this, yes.
Nice.
Give it some smell, extra
So if you get rich on this.
Yeah. Okay.